Hello. Oh, hi, Qasim. Um, all right. So I see. Let me know how my audio is in the live chat, please. Thank you very much. Um, okay. So I just wanted to start by talking about whether Hinduism is a religion or not, because this keeps coming up over and over and over and over again. And I just want to end this discussion, just mark it in history books that I have settled this discussion once and for all. You're welcome, world. You're welcome, India. Everybody else that is interested, I will answer this and it will be over. After this, everybody will know. Okay. Is Hinduism a religion? The answer is yes. You're welcome. Go home now. Everything. Okay. Well, so here's the thing. I took there are these courses I take, and I have like the lecture notes, and it was very interesting. This course was Hinduism, and let me tell you who this is by. This is one of the great courses, and the lecture is by Doctor. I'm assuming it's Doctor. Hold on. Yes, Doctor Mark W. Oh my God, what is his last name? M. Muses. Okay. Muesse. Muse. Okay. Associate Professor of Religious Studies at I don't know what college. I'm not even going to try to read the name of the college. Anyways, so one of the lectures of this course. Hi everyone. I see you guys in the live chat. Okay. One of the courses of this one of the lectures in this course was about what the hell is Hinduism, right? And I had a lot of disagreements with this me, little me, is having disagreements with this person that has a PhD in religious studies with apparently a focus on Hinduism. And I think like he's wrong and I'm right. The arrogance, the arrogance. Do you see that? Um, so okay, but let me make my point. Okay, so let me see what he's saying. Here are the lecture notes. Okay, and I was triggered when I was listening to his lecture. I remember on my spinning bike and I listening to his lecture. I was like, yeah, I wanted. To I was getting angry at this religious study professor with a PhD, um, because I didn't. I was getting triggered because of what he was saying. All right. Anyways, let me tell you why I disagree with him. Okay. So let me see. I have my own notes on the lecture notes. Okay. So what was he saying? He says Hinduism, religion, and India. Um, these are problematic yet useful words. Okay. Problematic yet useful. Okay. So why are they problematic? I'm not going to read the entire notes. I'm just going to read the parts that I highlighted and read the parts that I added notes to. Okay. So there's a part that says these three terms do not come from the indigenous language of India. All right. Um, and they say they derive from vocabularies of those outside of India. Okay. Here's the thing. Many countries are referred to with names that other people chose for them, right? Like I don't know, like Germany has a whole bunch of different names. Depending on oh yeah, like Holland or Netherlands. Like these are like names. I don't like people refer to them differently than the local people there. This is very, very common. Oh, good job. My dog just peed in the right place. Hey Kelly, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You peed in the right place. Good job. Good girl. Oh my god. Do you want to say hi? She's getting too big now for me to. Kelly, come here. Ah, come say hi. Okay, go. All right, that was really good. Hi, music guy. Hi, Tanaz. Okay, guys. I'm gonna really go. I see questions. I'm gonna answer this. I'm gonna go through this really fast, and then I'm gonna look at the questions. Okay. So, like the word Persia. Okay, I'm from Iran. Persia is the term the Greeks used for Iran, right? I'm not complaining. Do you see me complaining? I'm not complaining, right? Each concept, okay, so deriving from vocabularies of those outside of India. Yeah, I don't know why this is a problem. Yeah, I see my own notes. My own notes is saying, so what? They still have meaning. Humans can communicate once they understand each other's definitions. Yeah, okay. Who gives a crap where the definitions comes from? Like, we are part of this planet. We need to communicate. You're like, okay, you're using this word. What is the meaning of this word? Okay, this is the definition of this word. Now I understand you. Like, well, I don't like this word. Like, but do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you understand what they define? Do you understand? Like, yeah, but we use this term. Okay, but I'm using this term to refer to this. Do we have an understanding? Can we communicate now? Who gives a crap who's referring to what? Where did it originate? I mean, it's interesting where they originated from, but don't get so butthurt over it, okay? Of like, the sources of words are interesting, but not for the purposes of getting butthurt because they came from somewhere that you were not born in, okay? If somebody is using a word that came out of a place referring to you and your location and your people, but it was, by the way, it was our people. Okay, so this is my understanding. Wait, where's my notes? Okay. Wait, let me see if I remember this, okay? The Indus Valley, the Indus River, right, is referred to. No, it was Sindhu. It wasn't Indus. It was Sindhu. In Sanskrit, it was Sindhu, right? And then, hey, my girls are fighting. And then the Persians, they don't like S's at the beginning of things, right? So they just remove the S, right? And they're like, why do you have S at the beginning of your words? We don't like that. Hey, it's okay. Let them play. Let dogs be dogs. And you guys, girls, stop yelling. Stop yelling. Poochie, come here. Poochie, I'll protect you. Poochie, come here. Poochie. No? Okay, fine. So Sindhu, they've turned it into Hindu. Persian, it was us. It was the Persians that turned Sindhu into Hindu. Okay? Hind. They call India Hind. Okay? So the Persian, the Hind and Hindu is the Persianized version of Sindhu. It was Sanskrit, it was Sindhu. It was Persianized to Hindu and Hind. Okay? And then the Greeks, they were like, what? Just like the Persians were like, why do you have an S at the beginning of this word? We don't like that. We don't like S's at the beginning of the word. The Greeks took Hind and Hindu from Persians, and they were like, why do you have an H at the beginning of your letters? We don't like H. Like, we Greeks, we don't like H's at the beginning of our words. So they removed the H, and it was Ind, but they were like, Ia at the end. They like Ia, they like IAs at the end of their words. So it was India. Okay? So India. Girls, stop. Anyways. Fatima is saying, Armin, why are you interested in Hinduism? I will ask you the opposite question. Why are you not interested in Hinduism? 1 out of 7 people on this planet are from India and are potentially Hindu. How could you not be interested in Hinduism? Okay, music guy, I will get to that question. I need to answer. I need to settle this. Okay. That more closely approximates. Yeah. Okay. And they're like, people like, oh, the word that they use is Sanatana. Wait, is it Sanatana Dharma? I know I'm not pronouncing that right. Get over it. Okay. So that's the correct word. Okay. Well, if Hinduism means Sanatana Dharma, we'll just consider Hinduism the English translation of Sanatana Dharma. Okay. So if they're like, Hinduism is not like Hinduism is the wrong word. It's Sanatana Dharma. Well, there are many other Indian words that have English translations for them. So, like, why is this not the English version of that? Like, just yeah. Anyways, so here's the thing. Okay, what is a religion? What is a religion? People are like, oh, religion. So many different people have different definitions about religion, and it's not a set things. These people mean this about it. This people mean that about it. The usage of the word religion has changed throughout history. Okay, now can we have a useful definition of the word religion? Is that possible? Can we have that? Okay, yes, other people might use different definitions, but what is a very useful definition? Okay, a useful definition based on another course I took at a different time was anything that has two elements: belief in the supernatural and rituals. Okay, so the problem with the challenge for us to answer whether Hinduism is a religion or not is twofold. One, does Hinduism meet the criteria of having rituals and belief in the supernatural, right? And two, is it referring to one thing? Like, some people are like, okay, but Hinduism is so many things that are not united in any way, so there's no such thing as Hinduism that you can label Hinduism, and that's why the name Hinduism doesn't make any sense, because it's not referring to anything at all. Okay, there's so many different things, and that are not similar, that have more differences than similarities, right? Somebody's saying Hinduism is mythology. Well, what religion isn't mythology? Jesus. So is Islam and Christianity. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So, I mean, of course, I think we could agree that Hinduism has rituals and belief in supernatural. So that part is met. Okay. The part that we have to wonder about is whether or not there's anything that unites all these these ideas that could be united as one religion, or that one idea. Is there anything that unites these sets of ideas as like? Is there any unifying factor? And the answer is yes, there is a unifying factor. And what's the unifying factor? What is the unifying factor? The unifying factor is, say it in live chat, say it with me, Vedic scripture, the Vedas. Obviously, that's what unites them. That's what they all share. There you go. I solved it for you. Okay. Yes, it does have rituals. It does have belief in supernatural. And three, yes, it does there is a unifying factor that puts them all in one category. There is one thing that we could refer to. There are a set of ideas that have a common feature, which is an excuse for us to make it its own category. Right? So here's my definition of Hinduism. Okay. And this is the definition from now on till the end of time. This is the definition, and the discussion over and me as yes, I'm not a Hindu, I'm not Indian, but guess what? It was the Persians who even come up with the word Hindu. So I might as well define it today. Okay. We started it and I'm ending it. Okay. The Persians started it and the Persian's going to end it. Okay. The word Hindu is a Persian word. So I have more rights than anyone else to end this discussion. I'm just joking. Okay. So I am going to define Hinduism as any set of traditions that include both belief. That includes belief. Okay, this is not grammatically correct. I should have proofread this. Any set of traditions that include both belief and rituals. Okay, so for the beliefs, the conditions for the beliefs is the beliefs that include, among other things, the recognition of the Vedas as authoritative texts and rituals that are directly or indirectly stem from the Vedas. Somebody fix that grammatically. And okay, so basically what I'm saying is that there's a set of tradition, and these set of traditions must include both beliefs and rituals. For it to be a religion at all, it needs to have beliefs and rituals. The beliefs have to include, among other beliefs, the belief that the Vedas are authoritative texts, and the rituals have to be rituals that are directly or indirectly stem from the Vedas. There you go. Hinduism defined. You're welcome, India. You're welcome, world. Yeah, solved it. There we go. Anyways, let's look at the live chat. Copyright reserve. No, you can use it. I will not challenge you in court. All right, let's look at the questions. Okay, SSUJS, very creative name, is saying, are you agnostic or atheist, and how do you define these terms? God, this question will never go away with it. First, I am an agnostic atheist towards the deistic God, but I'm a Gnostic atheist to the biblical, the Christian, and the Hindu, and other religious gods, right? So I'm a Gnostic atheist towards more mainstream religions gods, and I'm an agnostic atheist towards the deistic God. Agnosticism and atheism are not mutually exclusive. If you want to see the definitions, just search for Atheist Republic, Atheism versus Agnosticism. I have an article where the first thing that shows up is an article where I describe this in detail. Music guy saying, Armin, do you think Iran would help the Taliban take Kabul and other large cities, since they seem to be buddies now? Depends on what you mean by help. So help as in like military help? No, I don't think so. Like help as in talking to them and treating them that like they are now the de facto government, and taking them seriously and giving them legitimacy, international legitimacy. Maybe like help them militarily operations with them in somewhere else, not with like taking over Kabul. Maybe Iran's government will be helping them with fighting over with ISIS, maybe somewhere. And maybe that kind of help I could see them doing, but not directly when it comes to taking over Kabul. That would be like, no, I don't think they would do that. But yeah, they are being strategic about it. They recognize Taliban's influence, and the fact that a relationship with the Taliban right now is very important, given the influence they have in Afghanistan, and they are acting buddies with them. But obviously, they also recognize that Taliban is extremely unpopular in Afghanistan right now, and whatever happens, there's going to be, maybe for a very long time, a conflict between the current government and Taliban. And even if Taliban comes, like, there are going to be elements within Afghanistan that might have not be Taliban, that might have a share at the seat in the power. So they don't want to like lose relationship with that completely, right? So I mean, right now the people who are in support of the current government in Afghanistan, they're extremely angry with Iran's government for even sitting in Tehran and talking to the Taliban, just like recognizing them, sitting with them on the table, like sharing a conference with them, just is making them livid. Like they're extremely angry, because it's giving anybody who sits with the Taliban, like the people who want the Taliban to become irrelevant in Afghanistan, like the fact that people negotiate with the Taliban, they don't like the fact that Taliban is taken so seriously, right? So you don't want to anger those people so much that you can't, Afghanistan has like a lot of water that Iran needs. Who's going to control that water? Like, yeah, but I mean, the thing is that at some point, Taliban is also, I don't think they're going to be able to like completely dominate. Like there's always going to be a struggle. I'm not sure actually, but if they manage to like have no opposition one day, oh my God, well, imagine that happening. Then it would be like at that point the buddy relationship with Iran is mostly just like you guys seem to be like having the upper hand, and we need to recognize that. It's not like they like each other, okay? Taliban is very, very anti-Shia. And maybe when the dust settles, the conflict and you might see some tensions between Iran's government and Taliban in the future, right? And also eventually if the Taliban is like, if they're deciding what happens to the water, they're not going to give that stuff for free. Like they're going to use that as negotiation. I don't know. We'll see. Like there's going to be tensions. It's not black. It's not black and white. It's not like, hey, we're buddies now. We're going to support you everything you do, or like, oh, we're enemies now, so we're going to be against everything you do. It's like a lot more stuff happening behind. And also, what is the hell is Taliban anyways, right? You have no idea. Every time you sit down and you talk to Taliban, and like, okay, so we agree you're not going to do that. And like, okay, yes, Taliban is not going to do that. And then you look like 5 minutes later, oh, they're actually doing that. The thing that we agreed that they're not going to do. And like, they're going to be like, yeah, but that's a different Taliban. And like, the different Taliban, like, yeah, those are not our people. Like, but they call themselves Taliban. I'm like, yeah, but those are not our people. Like, so then who did we deal with? Then who did we sign this agreement with? So like, anybody could just pick up a Taliban flag and be like, hey, I'm Taliban now, right? And then once it's Taliban season, you could like lower your Taliban flag and pick up your ISIS flag. Or like, hey, I'm this now, right? Like, it's just very loose, like sometimes you could pick up both flags and be like, I'm both. I am working in both capacities right now. Like, so it's just like very fluid. Like, it's not, we don't even like the Taliban in Doha and the Taliban in Tehran and the Taliban that is attacking one city is different from a Taliban that's attacking a different city, and it's not completely, but it's very different from the Taliban in Pakistan. So sometimes like we say Taliban, like who, like made, can the real Taliban stand up, like something like that? Like it's you can't yeah. Anyways. Lucifer Devil saying, I am ex-Hindu brother meets with science journey who expose Hinduism. I'm not sure what it means, but it sounds pretty good. Sounds positive. I'm not exactly sure what you just said there, but I think I'm getting some positive vibes from it. All right, music guy. Do you believe in protein intake after a workout? Are any of these workout methods false to you personally? That's a very broad question. Any of these workout methods? It really depends on what it really depends on what you mean by any. Like, which ones? You need to be just a tiny bit more specific, music guy. Like, obviously some of them are nonsense and some of them are really, really good. I don't right. So I could answer the first one, and again I have to give you the disclaimer that I'm not a nutrition expert. So you have to take my advice with a grain of maybe 10 grain of salt, and salt. And also that what works for me might not work for you, blah, 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 blah. All the disclaimers, blah, blah, blah. Just assume I said every single disclaimer that I need to say that I haven't said, just assume I said it. Okay, so when it comes to taking protein intake after workout, it doesn't matter when you take it, as long as you're getting enough protein throughout the day. Okay, the only situation where you need to really take protein after your workout is for the idiots, not all, who are fasting. I used to be one of them. I used to be one of those idiots who used to be fasting. But if you're fasting and if you like haven't eaten anything for a long time and you work out, you better drink protein shake or something right after your workout, because you're missing a major opportunity to build muscle if you don't have protein in your body. Okay, if you woke up, so anybody who just wakes up just has already been through a fast, because you were fasting while you were sleeping. That's why it's called a break fast, because you're breaking a fast, right? Anyways, like imagine if you wake up and you don't eat breakfast and you work out like an idiot, then you better have a protein shake right after your workout, or else you're going to miss the most important time window to build protein. Okay. However, if like a person who knows what they're doing, you're just eating protein throughout the day, okay, and right in the morning before you work out, then it's not that important for you to drink your protein right after your workout, because guess what? The protein from your breakfast is still digesting. Okay, it's still in your body. It's not that important for you to drink it right after your workout. Okay, you still have there's still protein in your body. Don't worry, your body has access to those. It's going to get that. Okay. All right. Lucifer Devil saying, Armin, please talk to Science Journey. You go to them, they come to me. I'm not going to chase anybody. I'm tired of chasing people. I'm not going to waste my time. Anybody who you think should be talking to me, they need to reach out to us. I'm not going to reach out to anybody. This is a very interesting question. Fatima saying, Armin, what are the similarities between Islam and Hinduism? They're both religions. They both believe in supernatural. They both are wrong. They're both. Oh, here's an interesting. Oh, maybe if you compare it to other like what do they have in? What is similar about Islam and Hinduism that maybe sets them apart a little bit from other religions? How about that? I just made your question, Fatima. I just made your question a little bit more interesting. I made it a lot more interesting, actually. I think one interesting similarity between Hinduism and Islam is that they are more present throughout one's life beyond religious places and religious activity, beyond specific time. Like, for example, many religions, right, have specific religious time. Like, I am praying now. This is my religious time. Or I'm going to the church now. This is a religious place. Okay. And again, Islam and Hinduism have that, right? There's mosques, there's religious places, there's specific times throughout the day that are dedicated to religious activity. But one thing that is interesting about Islam and Hinduism is like the fact that this whole religious influence is present beyond those places and those times of activity in one's day-to-day life, and you could just seeing it oozing out of the wall and out of the institutions, and its presence in books that is not about religion, and in institutions or that is not about religion. Like you could just see like it's basically ever present, and at all times. It could be like potentially, right? Like with Christianity, for example, I know this is not like it's very set. It could be. There are exceptions, obviously, for all of these, right? But largely, like when I think about Christianity, I think like you go to church and you pray, and then you go home and you do other things, right? And maybe like before eating you pray, and I don't know, before bed you pray. I don't know, like there's stuff like that, okay? But like there's not like, I don't know, like the Office of Agriculture for a country doesn't have like religious symbolism, Christian symbolism, or like, I don't know, maybe not, at least not anymore, right? But you don't go to like in India, there are non-religious buildings that are blessed, that are like have a bell. I don't know, they have certain things that makes them like make sure that there's some blessing upon the place that is not even religious, right? In Islam also we have that. Within your daily activity, maybe you can feel somebody who's religious, you feel their religious nature, or the spirituality. You could the thing, the signaling of spirituality, you could see them, they carry that with them at all places. I mean, you could see that in Muslim women and maybe Hindu women, especially on women, but also men, right? Like there are more ways to recognize Muslim women and Hindu women, and even Muslim men and Hindu men, than you could pick out who's a Christian, for example, right? Because you carry, once you come out of the mosque, you're still carrying your religion with you, and you're like signaling to the world that like, hey, I'm a Muslim. There are more examples of that, right? But I don't know, maybe like in Christianity, at least this is, by the way, I'm talking about modern times, okay? I know it was different. And like in Christianity, you get the sense that, okay, I was Christian now I'm like back to the real world, back to I'm stop now, right? So I don't know, this is very general. I know there's millions of exceptions, but right now I think like the identity of being a Muslim or being a Hindu carries with you as a person, and also is present location wise, is also over more of the activities in life, and more places. There are more excuses and more opportunities for it to present itself, right? Anyways, that was a very long answer. Okay, this is like, okay, Atheist for Liberty is saying, what is the origin of regressive left? I want to know why they can advocate against any religion, but not just Islam. Oh my God. Okay. What is the origin of regressive left? Are you talking about the definition of the word? The word regressive left was coined by Majid Nawaz, but regressive left was something that was all there since there was left, because people be regressive whether they're left or right? So the regressive left was there ever since there was a left. And so with same thing, I guess, with regressive right, I guess, right? Yeah, because some people like I guess if regressive are the people who are against progress and are holding us back, then I'm assuming that within leftist political ideology, there were always some people who were advocating for things that held humanity back, I guess, right? I'm assuming, right? Why can they advocate against any religion but not just Islam? Okay, so first of all, not all. Even among people who I consider regressive left, there are some of them who consider Islam a horrible ideology, right? Even not just left, okay? Obviously, there are many leftist people who don't like Islam. But even regressive leftist people, some of them really hate Islam, okay? So, hashtag not all. But the ones that you're referring to is probably because they are confusing protecting minority rights, which is something that the left wants to do, right? This is one of the signature positions by the leftists, is to protect minority rights, which is based. Protecting minority rights is good, but they confuse that with protecting the religion itself of those minorities. So that's the sort of confusion, just not being able to separate protecting people's rights with defending their ideology. The inability to separate those two things from each other has made some, as you call regressive leftists, defend religions like Islam. We have the exact same problem on the right, because not exactly, but this is the source of this problem. We have that exactly on the right, but leads to something else, right? So not being able to separate people from their religion, okay, also leads to some disasters on the right, which makes it, because a lot of people on the right, hashtag not all, are racist and bigots and xenophobes, which is true. We see that a lot on the right. But they want to, the fact that Islam is a horrible ideology is used by them as a way to fearmonger against Muslims as a group of people, right? So we shouldn't let them do that, right? So the idea of not being able to separate Muslims from Islam is something you see both on the left and on the right with different results. Okay. This is repetition. Fatima is asking, do you miss life that you lived in Iran? Do you have any happy memories? I mean, obviously I have happy memories. Like I lived there for like 20 years. It would be weird if I had 20 years of nothing but bad memories. Like, I mean, if I had 20 years of nothing but bad memories, that would say something more about me than Iran. Like I would have to be miserable by nature, I guess, by that point. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I have many good memories, obviously. Do you miss the life that you lived in Iran? There are certain things I miss about Iran more than before, which is, when I left Iran, I was like, I am done with this. I'm so I never want to come back here. I am free. I am liberated, right? And now I'm feeling like, I wish I could go there. Like, I wish I could go here. I wish I could. I can't, by the way, because if I go, I will get executed. But there are certain places now that I'm studying history. Okay. Here's the thing: the things that I want to go back to Iran for are not the things that I miss. Are the things that I regret not taking advantage of when I was there. Okay. Like I went to Esfahan and I went to like a lot of like I want to go back to Persepolis because I have so much more appreciation for a lot of historical stuff that was happening in Iran. I wish like I went there as a child. My parents didn't take enough pictures, right? Like look at this stuff. Hold on. Look at this stuff. I want to go back and see this stuff and appreciate it more. And I know now the historical significance of all this stuff, right? Look at this stuff. I want to go back here. I want to go check this stuff out. Like, how come when I was there, like I regret not going to these places and not learning about these things? Look at this. Hold on. Like I was here and I didn't appreciate what this is. Look at all this stuff. I want to go back here. You see this? And I want to tour. I want to go with my notes. I want to go and make a document. I want to record myself and come talk to you guys. We're like, oh look, I went here. I learned this. I shared with you guys. Like this is what I understood about this. Like yeah. So I do. Yeah, I do want to go back, but mostly because of things that I never did. I either didn't do, or if I did, if I went there, I was too young to understand the significance of them. So it's like I regret not. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I do want to go back to Iran, but I can't go back to Iran because I would be hanged. Anyways, okay. Okay, no, guys, this is so comfortable. Like they're like, I'm still wearing this thing. I'm not still wearing the same thing. I refuse to dress up for you guys. I am very comfortable. If you just listen to my words, I'm not gonna dress up for you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna be as comfortable as I can be. And I bought 5 of these. Okay, this is not the same thing. It's washed. Don't worry. I don't wear the same thing like every week. It's so comfortable that I have to. I got so much of it. Okay. All right, let me see what else. Oh yeah. Will you ever cover what happened in Tbilisi in Georgia when? Okay, so and the thing that is, we got a strike for hate speech on Atheist Republic for talking about the LG stuff, defending them. But because YouTube is so dumb, we got a hate speech strike. So we decided not to talk about, for the sake of keeping our channel up, we can't talk about those stuff anymore. It's so stupid. And yes, if you know other channels that are not talking about the same things and not getting strikes and stuff, our channel is like being heavily targeted. That's why we have to be more careful than other channels. All right, let me see. Oh, hey, Vikram. Vikram is here. Silva, will Iran government claim Freddie Mercury as Persian since he was Parsi? Question inspired by your tank top. No, because he was not Persian. First of all, Iran's government doesn't like what? Okay, Silva, come on. Is this a serious question? Why would Iran's Islamic government give credit to anybody for being Zoroastrian? Also, even if they wanted to, Zoroastrian nationality does not depend on someone's religion, right? Somebody being Zoroastrian doesn't make them Iranian. So how would they claim him? And why would they even celebrate somebody who's Zoroastrian? They discriminate against Iran's government discriminates against Zoroastrians, trying to push them to convert to Islam. Why would they celebrate anybody like that, right? I mean, hey, I'm not. Hey, YouTube, I'm not this. I'm just describing what the Islamic Republic does. I'm not advocating for discrimination. Okay, it was not a serious question. How could I tell? How could I tell, guys? Maybe put like a emoticon with a tongue out or something, or like an /s or something. I'm sitting here. It's just text. It's just text. I can't tell if you're joking. And if you think your question is obviously a joke, you are underestimating the questions that I get. No, these are not obvious jokes. Oh, how do you describe Ambedkar's decision to adopt Buddhism for millions of dollars? Well, it wasn't Buddhism, was it? it was Enlightenment values. It was like, hey guys, what if we adopt Enlightenment values but call it Buddhism? Like, let's become Buddhist, but not actually believe anything that Buddhists believe, and just look at these ideas that have been popular in Western countries, which are Enlightenment values. I mean, like, we agree with those values, but instead of giving them proper credit, just call them Buddhism, even though they have nothing to do with Buddhism. So I think, like, maybe he was trying to make it seem less foreign, because if they were like Enlightenment values, this is why Enlightenment values should not be called Western values. If they're called Enlightenment values, they're easier to sell. If you call them Western values, we're like, this is foreign stuff. I don't like this foreign stuff. I want local stuff. So I think Ambedkar had to be like, okay, Buddhism, let's call it Buddhism, because Buddhism came from India. Hey, you guys want some local stuff? So I guess that's what happened. He just went and got a, we're like, guys, you want some Enlightenment values? And people were like, nah, that's like Western stuff. He just like, okay, let's just like remove the label, like Buddhism. How about now? That's basically what happened, right? It was like, yeah. Vikram is saying, do you have any debate plans soon? No, because I'm tired of chasing after people and having the time that it takes for me to like set up something and then chase somebody and arrange a time and then them not getting back to me and then me waiting and then scheduling a time and then all of a sudden they say, oh, they can't make it. I could have like came here and just talked to you guys. Guys, I have notes and discussion. Like I could show you like today, I basically took my notes from this PhD guy that is in religious studies, and I'm talking about my disagreements with them. These people are like, I don't have to arrange a call with him. I could just look at his lectures and tell you why he was wrong, right? So it's easier for me to just do a whole bunch of stuff like this with you guys. If I want to debate somebody, they have to come, and they have to be very eager to set the time, because I'm tired of chasing after people. If anybody wants to come in a discussion or a debate or whatever, they have to come chase after me. I'm enjoying my time just live streaming with you guys. Hey, Idris is a member here. Thank you, Idris. It is saying, I know the claim is, and I don't know what this word is. Hold on. I'm learning a word from Idris today. What the hell? Oh, out of chronological order. Oh, I should have guessed that. Chronicle. So Anna means not. So not in order. But do you think the historical Jesus, aka the revolutionary, could be considered Muslim in the sense he aligned more with Islam versus Judaism? I think that's what you're saying there. Okay. No, you cannot be considered Muslim, because the definition of a Muslim is somebody who believes in Allah as the only God, and as Muhammad as his prophet. Okay, I'm being very inclusive here, and the Quran as a direct word of God, right? And I'm pretty sure Jesus didn't believe that. Okay, I'm almost sure. I'm almost sure Jesus was not Christian, because I think the definition of Christianity must include you accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior. And I think that was something that was added to Christianity a whole bunch many years later. And I don't think I think Christianity is more what Paul believed than Jesus believed. So I think Jesus was neither Muslim or Christian. Yeah, Jesus was just Jewish. Yeah, Jesus was not Christian or Muslim. Does that make sense? Right? Based on the definition of Muslim, Jesus does not believe in Allah as God. Jesus did not. If you say Allah is the same as Yahweh, okay, fine. That could be debated. If you say Jesus didn't believe in Muhammad, there was no Muhammad at the time, so it's already not a Muslim. Okay. Maybe Muslim by the definition of Muslims who think that all religion is Islam. I mean, but if you want to use the definition of the Muslim, since Adam was also a Muslim, but then if you want to accept that definition, because they think all religions was always Islam and everything else that we believe in is just corrupted. Well, I mean, then just go all the way and accept Islam and just, yeah, Jesus was Muslim. Jesus was Muslim according to Muslims. But now you've entered their worldview and their ideology, and now you're just saying, I mean, you might as well say Voldemort was evil according to Harry Potter. I don't know. Yeah, but based on the definitions that are useful and that we're using to describe what a Muslim is and what a Christian is, no, Jesus was not a Muslim, and neither was he a Christian. Probably not. He was not a Christian either. Okay. Oh, actually, based on the definition of what's a Muslim, Muhammad was not a Muslim either. Oh, wow. Based on the definition of who's a Muslim, neither Jesus or Muhammad were Muslim, and based on a definition of who's a Christian, neither Muhammad and Jesus were Christians. Interesting. I just had a profound realization right now. Quote, Majid Nawaz expertly debunks the theory that Islam is inherently fundamentalist. What do you think, Armin? Thanks. That is nonsense. What does that even mean? Islam is okay. What do you mean? Define fundamentalist. That is a nonsensical phrase. Islam is inherently fundamentalist. Fundamentalist describes people, and is usually describes people to the degree that they're taking their religion seriously and the fundamentals of their religion. So it's like saying Armin, how closely have you studied organic chemistry? Like very closely. I studied it very good. Like I think I'm gonna ace the exam. All right, okay. Do you think organic chemistry is very versed at organic chemistry? Do you think organic chemistry is very organic chemistry-y? What? Like, what do you mean? Like, like Islam. So this is Islam. Okay, these are people. Okay, the people who are taking the fundamentals of Islam very seriously. They're fundamentalists. Okay, okay. You can't describe Islam as fundamentalist or not fundamentalist unless you're using a different definition that I'm not familiar with. Is there a different definition? Like, do you guys get what I'm saying? How could Islam not be fundamentalist? How could, yeah, it is. Doesn't make sense. Hey, wait a second. Maybe you mean Islam doesn't require one to take its fundamentals seriously. So maybe you're saying Islam is not a religion. It's a religion where you could be like, you just be like, I'm just gonna, yeah, like I'll just have a sample size of Islam, please. Thank you very much. No, I'm not. I'm full. I don't need the entire thing. Just a little bit of taste of Islam. I'm just gonna tap my toe in the water a little bit. And Islam is like, it's okay. You don't have to have the entire thing. You can have just a little bit of it. You can have no. If that's what you mean by Islam, no. Islam requires you to take the whole thing, right? If that's what you mean by fundamental, whether Islam is fundamentalist or not. Like you can't accept half of the Quran. Like the Quran warns you about the people who accept some of the Quran and not. The Quran itself warns you about the people who take some of the Quran and not the rest of the Quran. So it's actually, when it comes to being a religion that accepts non-fundamentalists, Islam is the least religion like that, right? Like you could say, let's be fair to Hindus. Hindus could just say, like, Hinduism, you could just be a little Hindu or you could be very Hindu. That's completely up to you. There's no pressure, right? That's accurate about Hinduism, okay? Not accurate about Islam. I mean, you can, if Muslim can not be very serious about Islam. I'm not saying it's physically impossible. Obviously, most Muslims are not. Most Muslims do not take Islam very seriously. Obviously, it's not hard-coded within the laws of the universe, making them incapable of doing so. It's just that Islam doesn't want, like, according to the teachings of Islam, you should take the whole thing. Okay. There are certain hadiths that says don't be extreme with your religion. So there are hadiths that say that. Let's be fair to that. But when you think about fundamentalists, you're talking about somebody who accepts the fundamentals of your religion fully, right? You're not talking about somebody. So a fundamentalist and a radical like jihadist are not necessarily the same thing, right? A fundamentalist is somebody who just accepts all of the fundamental of your religion, right? So the Quran being accepted as a direct word of God is obviously a religion that tells you that all of these words have to be accepted, right? So you could be a fundamentalist that is not a radical jihadist or something like that. You just accept all the fundamentals of your religion, right? So even if you're not extreme with your actions, you're still a fundamentalist because you have accepted all the fundamentals. And Islamic teaching is very explicit that you need to do that. The fact that Muslims don't do that, that doesn't mean that that's not a teaching of Islam. It's not a contradiction to say something is a teaching of Islam and most Muslims don't follow it. That's not a contradiction. Ayan Hirsi Ali says that Pakistan was Hindu, Syria was Christian, etc. They lost their country because of pseudo-secularism. Does it mean that we should not vote for parties who are pseudo-secular? I don't understand this question. Syria was something else before it was Christian. So there's that. I mean, India also was like India was doing really good, and the Indus Valley civilization was really good before I can't even refer to those people because YouTube might flag what I might think I'm saying something else. Indo-European, can I say that instead? Before the people with the Vedic stuff showed up. Indus Valley, I'm not giving. I don't know if that was the cause. Okay, it might have been drought or whatever, right? But I don't know. I'm not gonna give in. Yeah. So here's the thing. People just like to. I don't know if you're. First of all, I don't understand the question. I also don't know if you're describing her position accurately. I just have to warn you about just correlation, causation, not the same thing. Has anyone heard of that? Right? Correlation, causation, like burden of proof, see the evidence, all that stuff. Okay. First, and also I don't even know if there's correlation here. I don't know if there's correlation here. If there was a correlation, I don't even know if there's causation here. People just like to say things without anything to back it up. And I don't even know if Ayan Hirsi Ali says that. So I don't even know if I'm responding to something accurate. So I'm just going to move on. What if you're saying, what if you only have two options, pseudo-secularism and conservative religious party? Who would you support? What is pseudo-secularism? Depends on what you mean by pseudo-secularism. Yeah, I looked up the definition. Thank you, Vikram. With the current heat waving, okay, guys, I'm not going to talk about, I don't understand music, guy. I already told you not to talk about my location and stuff. God damn it. Idris is saying, if you lived in the Matrix, would you be mad at the machines? I see no reason to be on my part. Be mad at the machines? Are the machines self-aware? How am I living in the Matrix? Am I living a good life in Matrix? Is the Matrix comfortable? I might be very happy with the machines if they're giving me and everyone else a good life in the Matrix. I would be like, maybe I'll build a shrine for and start worshiping them. I mean, that would be technically the god, right? It would be like, are they basically? You're saying if there was a god, would you worship it? Well, if it depends on. Is it a good god? Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I wouldn't worship it. I would maybe if there was a god and if it was a good god, I would be like, hey, thanks. If it's a bad god, I'm like, well, I'll probably keep my opinions to myself because I have control over everything. But I'll probably be angry inside. Depends on how good these gods are, I guess. Okay. Mario saying, Majid said that Islam is not inherently fundamental. Okay, I already answered that. Okay, let me just quickly. Oh, the Matrix, like in the movie, who farms humans. Well, if they're responsible for the world that we see right now, then I would be angry because most of the world is miserable. So I would be angry with them, maybe not for my sake, but I would be angry with them for the sake of all the other people that are having miserable lives. All right, I'm just going to quickly finish this. Will Iran see a regime change? How many people of Iran are irreligious? I covered this new recent stats in another video. Maybe search for Iran is now Islamic. Wait, let me see actually the title of the video. Apparently, Iran is like not a Muslim country anymore. Iran Muslim minority. Is that their title? Nope. Atheist Republic. So I go over the stats for this. Wow. Thanks, YouTube. It doesn't show up. Where is that video? Oh, yeah. Okay. Search for this video. It's called Half of Iranians Have Left Islam According to New Poll. And here, I'll share you the link. Wait, if I search for half of Iranians have left Islam, would YouTube show that to me, or would they be? Oh yeah, that's the first thing that shows up. Half of Iranians have left Islam according to new poll. Search for that. I'll give you the link here in the live chat. Go watch that video. I go over the numbers in a lot of detail. The first part of your question: will Iran see a regime change? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Very hard to tell. Okay. The fact that people are unhappy, the fact that a lot of people are unhappy, does not guarantee it at all. I mean, look at Syria. Assad is still in power. Assad has much less power than the Islamic Republic of Iran, and had a lot more forces united against it than the Islamic Republic of Iran. And Assad is still in power. Look at Taliban. Taliban was not defeated. Even though now Taliban is coming to power, even though most Afghans don't like the Taliban, right? So, but again, look at Libya. So, Gaddafi fell. Look at Egypt. But look, in Egypt, the same people that were in charge before now are back in charge again. So even if there is like a toppling of the people in charge, maybe you see the same people coming back up, like Egypt, or maybe it will be like Libya. I don't know. Like, it's the number of factors that will determine what outcome you get is so numerous that the only thing that is certain is lack of certainty. The only thing that you need to be certain about is our inability to come up with a prediction. Okay? So anybody who's giving you a prediction with any level of certainty is talking nonsense. Okay? People could come up with predictions with a lot of skepticism if they're not telling you how impossible it is to be sure about anything while they're giving you their predictions, then you shouldn't trust those people. Okay, guys. Trump, 9/11, the pandemic. Who predicted these things? Who predicted these things? Right? And imagine how many things changed because of these things happening. How much of our world today, the things that are happening and the trends that are happening today, is because of stuff like Trump, 9/11, or the pandemic or stuff like that? How much of it is influenced by all these unseeable events that nobody see coming? So if you want to predict the future, just realize that previous predictions have been completely thrown in a different direction because of unforeseeable things like this. Right? You should be very, very reluctant to make any predictions once you see how events like this just throws everything apart. Right? Yeah, exactly. Ghasem is saying, yeah, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean there won't be another dictatorship. Yeah, even if there is a toppling of the government, it could still be another, I don't know, Shia regime coming up. Vikram, I'm not going to read that because I don't know how YouTube will treat that. I'm paranoid. I am paranoid when it comes to YouTube now. Because it strikes again. Anyways, we've already gone over an hour. So I'm gonna go. By the way, I just want to highlight something. At the beginning of the show, there was a girl that showed up that wrote something in Persian. Oh, guys, I know that me being this comfortable on the Persian show would not be tolerated. Okay, because I know there was a Persian girl here at the beginning of the show. Was like, what happened to your clothes? Yeah, damn it. This is why I know I can't do this on the Persian show. The entire live chat will lose its mind. But with you guys, I can be comfortable with you guys. This is so much fun. I can be just like this and enjoy my time and not have to dress up or anything like that. Right? Okay. All right, guys. Vikram saying, have a good morning. Nice. Anytime. Yeah, good. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later. Paris, I'm not upset. All right, guys. You guys are so much fun. I wish I could. I have to go. All right. Bye, guys. Bye.